Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I would love to welcome you. I will hope that you will consider subscribing. Please don't be a stranger and stick around for a while. If this is not your first time here, I don't know why I always have to tell you. You better be subscribed, honey. On today, guys, this is actually day 4 of my real estate journey. Today is Sunday, April the April the 26th. We've already gone through the first 45 minutes of class. And on today, guys, we are talking about liens, general liens, specific liens, contractor liens, Department of Revenue liens, just any type of lien that you can think about on a property in the state of North Carolina. And we're also talking about how North Carolina is different from other states when it comes to certain liens. So far, the first part of the class has been very, very interesting, guys. What I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna insert a clip of me just going through the class, and then also I'm gonna add a few clips, maybe 1 or 2 in here, the actual instruction during the class, so you guys can pick a little bit of that up. Okay guys, so let's get into it, my loves.
Hiring the general contractor, I always tell my clients, get in writing at the beginning who the subcontractors are. And when I pay my general contractor, guess what? The check is made out to the general contractor and the what? Subcontractor. I make my check out to the GC and the subcontractor. Therefore, both parties have to cash it, proving I paid. Then the lawsuit is between whom? The GC and the subcontractor. And even then there won't be an issue because, even then there's not going to be an issue because the subcontractor cashed the check. That's between them to argue it out. I want me out of that argument. I don't care. Put the deck on my house. Put the new roof on my house. Get me out of the deal. This is what I call a blanket your donkey moment. Do you know what? I've said that before. Do you know what I mean by blanket your donkey? Anybody? Blanket your donkey. That's a Davism. Yeah, you're gonna learn Davisms. Blanket your donkey. What is that? Cover your blanket is a way to cover. Yeah, there you go. Cover your butt. There you go. Thank you. There you go. That's a blanket your donkey moment. All right. There's another question I wanted to grab up here. Is there a limit on how much the labor costs for a contract to be put on a lien on property? No, it can be any amount. Yeah, I've seen people foreclose on a house over $1,000. There's no limit. Or they foreclose on $200,000. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are crazy. People will absolutely foreclose on each other over $1,000. People will. We had a neighbor here, and we'll talk about that in deed restrictions. But I had a neighbor who he got foreclosed over an above ground pool. The above ground pool was probably $200. He lost his house over because he dug his feet in. He dug his feet in. The HOA dug their feet in. Everybody got ugly. Bottom line, he lost his house. Idiot. How do I know if... No, not quite. You're referring to the $30,000 deal where you've got to have an approved general contractor, a licensed general contractor. Don't worry, that's going to happen. We're going to get there. That's why I used the 30,000 as the example in this thing. That's why I said 30,000. Because I can put a lien on your property under that amount of money. But if I'm 30,000 or above, I have to be a licensed general contractor. That doesn't mean I can't put a lien on your house. It means that I have to have a license to do a job that big. Let's not misinterpret that law. So let's not misinterpret the law. The law states that if I do work that's more than 30,000 or above, I have to be a licensed contractor. But if I do work less than $30,000. I don't have to have a license. I still can put a lien on your house. How do you know if they actually work for the GC or the subcontractor? Well, what you need to do is you need to exert your rights. You need to exert your rights here and say when you sign that contract, you need to ask them, are you hiring any subcontractors or not? If so, I need them identified in the contract. For example, if you've bought a house, especially new construction, if you've bought a house that has the original kitchen cabinets, open the kitchen cabinet. If you've bought a house that has the original kitchen cabinets, especially if it's new construction, open the kitchen cabinets. There will be a list on a sticker somewhere in one of those cabinets of all the list of what? Subcontractors. You hire one company, you hire D.R. Horton, you hire True Homes, you hire Adams Homes, you hire Randall Homes, but they have a subcontractors for everything. Absolutely. Good questions. I like this one. You guys are awake on a Sunday morning. Good for you. Good for you. Is there a recourse for an owner if the go or sub don't do work? Yeah, the recourse for the owner we're going to go back to. We're going to hit the recourse for the owner. Right now we're not there. Right now we're just hitting the recourse of the people who put the lien on our property. So I don't want to jump to it. Am I going to get into this? Constance? Maybe. Mortgage companies often sell loans to other companies. What if your loan is sold to another company and you owe the previous one? Yeah, absolutely, you're correct. So mortgage companies, so that's what we call the secondary mortgage market. There's a primary and a secondary mortgage market. So the primary and the secondary mortgage markets are very important. Very, very important. That's how business is done. If you've ever bought a house, what did you notice in the first 6 weeks? How many companies did your house go through that handled your mortgage in the first 6 weeks? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Yeah, that's called the primary, secondary mortgage markets. So what's happening is they're buying your mortgages. That's because we pay interest in arrears, and that's why they do that. There's secondary mortgage issues. No, subprime's a very different beast. Secondary and subprime are different words. Chalk and cheese, dog and cat. Absolutely. So secondary mortgage market is where the money is. Here's the truth. Banks don't have money. Don't ever think banks have money. They don't. Banks use money. Banks don't have money. Banks use money. So how does the bank give you money? If the bank doesn't own its own money, where do they get the money from? They get it from the investment field. People invest money into banks. That's the secondary mortgage market. The secondary mortgage market is people investing money into the bank who in turn lends it to other people. That's the way banks work. Now, does that secondary mortgage market want their money back? Absolutely. They want it back at a certain rate. The rate they want it back is either prime, subprime. We're going to get into that right now. For example, we're in the middle of this COVID nonsense, and this is kind of getting ahead of ourselves, so I want to hit this and then we'll come back. But for example, this COVID nonsense, I got a lot of people that are really excited because the federal government and the Department of HUD, Housing and Urban Development, they announced all of these very low mortgage rates. Yeah, they announced all these very low mortgage rates recently. That's not us. You're not going to run out and get a 1% mortgage. When they announced that we're giving mortgage loans at 1 and 1.5% interest, my phone exploded. That 1 and 1.5% interest is not for us. It's for the secondary mortgage market. What they were trying to say, and they didn't do very well with this one, Imagine that the government not articulating a point well. And that's not a political statement against either party. That's a political statement against every party. They don't do a great job speaking the truth. That's not for us. What they were saying was, please keep investing in the mortgage field to keep mortgages flowing down to us. Keep investing in the secondary mortgage and lending banks money to lend us money. That's what they meant. Actually, if you look at it recently in the last month, for our home buyers, our mortgage rates have actually gone up. Our mortgage rates have gone up. They don't want to lend out all the money they have. Person attaches to real and personal. IRS lien, which doesn't supersede anything else, for example, is an example of a general lien. Department of Revenue lien, personal judgment lien, judgment lien. So personal property lien as well. That's a personal property lien is not ad valorem. Ad valorem is real property taxes. Personal property tax lien is what you get on your vehicle, trailers, motorcycles, whatever else we got. And then we've got a judgment lien. So we'll talk about that. Now, a general lien, why do we need to know this in real estate? Because we're dealing with houses and stuff. Why do we know this in real estate? Why do we have to know this? Because it's vitally important. I had some clients a couple of years ago. They're kind of I kind of use this couple for several examples. So, long story short, they were getting divorced. Wanted me to sell their house for them. And this is the one where she was getting all of her legal advice in real estate. All of her legal advice, she said, from an attorney. And it turned out to be she's getting all of her advice from a waitress at Cracker Barrel. That's not where we get our legal advice. So, they're getting divorced. They were in the house a year and a half, and they were being foreclosed. And I said, here's the deal. You don't have any equity in the house, or if no equity, at least very little equity. You've got very little equity in the house. So, if you've got very little equity in the house, and you're not going to make any money here, I understand we're not going to make money, but we want to go in the hole and lose the minimum amount possible. And we want to walk away. We want to walk away without having the foreclosure. So I was explaining this to them, and we had them a deal. Somebody wanted to buy their house. They were going to buy their house, and the couple was going to make about $5,000 after the transaction. Well, they said no, so we lost the deal. Well, the longer a house sits on the market, the lower the offers. That just makes sense. Because as it sits on the market, it's losing value. So, because the value of the house isn't going down, but the marketable value is going down. Those are two different things. The value of the home versus the marketable value. The value of the home remained. The home was still worth X amount of dollars, but it didn't hold the same marketable value. Because marketable value is based partially on perception. And unfortunately with us, in society, perception is reality. It is. So, with that, there was a perception the house was worth less money because it was sitting on the market. Well, we could have got them $5,000 in the deal. That fell through because they walked away. My sellers did. Then we got them a deal they'd break even. No, they don't want that. Can't have that. We had a deal $5,000. Yeah, that was 6 months ago. Then we had a deal where they were going to have to pay $1,000 in. And I was trying to stress to them, look, at this point, it's better to lose $1,000 but keep your credit rather than wait for them to take it. Their response was, screw it, let the bank take it. And that's what happened. The problem is this. The bank took the house and foreclosed on them and auctioned it off. They were only in the house for 1.5 years, 18 months. There was no equity. So when the bank was paying off that massive mortgage from the proceeds through a foreclosure, not an open market, the bank did not make enough money. I stressed to my clients, right now it is a specific lien, which means what? Against the property. It's a specific lien against the property. If they don't make enough money, they're going to turn this into a general lien against the person. That's exactly what the bank did. I said, if you don't jump on this, they're going to turn this into a general lien, and then watch out. They're going to take everything you got. It's going to be a country music song. They're going to take your girl. You're going to take your truck. They're going to take your dog. Your dog is gone too. It's a bad country music song. So guess what happened? So we ended up terminating our relationship. I couldn't speak any sense into him, so we walked away from each other. They called me about 6 months later. She called me all upset one morning. She said, David, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I said, what are we talking about, Michelle? She goes, I went to go out to work. I said, let me guess, your car is gone. Yeah, guess what happened? The car got repossessed. They came and took her car. I said, well, watch out, because Rob's going to call me here in a little bit. About 20 minutes after that, guess who called me? Rob. David, I don't know what to do. Why? Because his brand new truck was gone. Yeah, sure was. And their credit now is ruined for 13 years. They had a general and a specific lien filed against them and a foreclosure. These guys are screwed. Yeah, those cars were paid for. Doesn't matter if they're paid for. They took them. Does not matter if they're paid for. They will take them. Because why? It's a source of income. Yeah, they're allowed to take whatever they want. And guess what? If they still can't pay, if the bank still can't pay off what is owed of them plus the court costs, what else are they going to take? Well, what else can they do? Let's talk about it. General lien. What else am I going to do with a general lien? I'm going to put liens on you for your property. I'm going to take whatever property I can. I'm going to slap the spit out of you. What else am I going to do? Garnishment of wages. Garnishment of wages. And tax liens. So yeah, from now till eternity, every year in April and May, you think you're getting your tax money back? No, you're not. You're not getting your tax money back because your refund goes, if you haven't experienced this is fun. This is fun, y'all. If you have a lien out there anywhere, your tax money goes to that first. You got student loan liens? You got student loans in default? Yeah, they're going, yeah, your tax money's going there. You got medical bills? Yeah, watch out, it can go there too. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. The power here is incredible. Judgment lien. So a judgment lien is imposed by a court decree. Now here's an interesting one. So that was a great lesson. I don't know if they learned the lesson, but it was a great example for us. I'll tell you, it was an interesting one. I was with them. I tried to help them as much as I could, but they didn't want to take the advice. Have you ever come across that in life? Somebody wants your help and everything, but guess what? You can only give your help when they really accept it. Yeah, you can only give your help to somebody that accepts it. It's kind of like the person that asks for your advice and starts talking when you start to give it. Stop that! Stop that. Don't ask me my opinion when you're going to move on and not listen to it. Boy, that bugs me. That's my stepmother-in-law, Ruth. God bless Ruth. Bless her heart, Ruth. Oh my gosh, stop calling me and asking my opinion on COVID when you're not listening, and instead you're spending your night on WebMD. Stop that. Judge, she's nuts. I need to bring Ruth into class one night. One day I just need to bring Ruth into class. She's a trip. All right, judgment liens are important because a judgment lien has a life of 10 years in North Carolina. So somebody can file a judgment lien against you, and a judgment lien is only good for 10 years. So that's why if someone files a judgment in court against you, yeah, if you can hang out and drag them along for 10 years, it is exhausted. That's the lifespan of a judgment lien. Now, I don't suggest you do that because that's a long, arduous decade. But a judgment lien imposed by a court in North Carolina only has a lifespan of 10 years. It's a judgment lien filed by the court in the county where the property is located. In the county where the property is located. In the county where the property is located. That is a judgment lien. That's a judgment lien. Judgment lien. So what are the effects of specific liens? Specific liens mean appurtenant. They go with the land. An appurtenant lien goes with the land. They do not attach to the owner. So the owner can still sell your house with specific liens. But the liens go on to the next owner. How do you get back to slide view? Anna, the short answer is I'm not really sure. Because you see something different than I do. So this is where we need the expertise of someone else in the class that sees slide view. I'm not really sure. Wish I could help you out there because I see very different than you do. So judgment lien, you can still transfer the property, but the lien is the lien goes with the property. It is appurtenant. It is appurtenant. So this becomes really important for us. It becomes important because that the judgment lien, that the specific lien, attaches to the property. Can I transfer, sell, will, give, grant a property with a lien on it? Yes, I can. Yeah, I sure can. The question isn't if I can do it, the question is, should I do it? Okay, so let's say we've got a house that's worth $300,000. Now, it's a short sale, $300,000 house, short sale. With a $300,000 house and a short sale, I can get that house for $100,000. That's a third of the price. That's a third of the price. I can get a house for $100,000, but it's worth $300,000, but it's got $100,000 of liens on it. Can I still buy the house? Of course I can. Of course I can. Now, I can buy a house for $100,000. I can pay off the guy's $100,000 liens. I can do that. But I still get a house for $200,000 that's worth $300,000. That's still a good deal. So I can do that. Because the liens of a specific lien against the property, it's worth that. I can go and buy it. I'm still getting a deal. I'm getting a deal on the house. So it's worth it. Now, if I've got a house that's worth $300,000, I can get it for $250,000. So it's $50,000 undervalued. Great. But there's also $100,000 of liens. The liens are appurtenant, meaning what? They go with the land. So if they're appurtenant, they go with the property because it's a specific lien against the property. If it's a specific lien against the property, now the lien goes with the house. Can I buy that house for $250,000? Yes, but I got to pay off the $100,000 of liens, making it $350,000. It's not a good deal. It's not worth it. So I can transfer the property, but I got to buy the liens that are appurtenant. Now, if they were general liens, maybe. Depends how we do it. Okay. Then we've got to understand what is the priority of liens. The priority of liens is this. North Carolina has a pure race state. North Carolina is a pure race state. What I mean by that is this. North Carolina, pure race state. It is a foot race to get to record the lien. Whoever records first gets paid first. It is very specific who gets paid first. First thing is always what? Come on now, I already told you this one. First is ad valorem tax. Ad valorem tax is superior lien against all others. Nobody is paid. Nobody is paid until your property taxes. There's no good reason why that is, except that's why that is. Nobody is paid until your property tax is paid. Nobody. Secondly, we've got special assessments. So special assessments are the superior lien aside from real property. They get paid next. Notice we don't have a bank yet. Bank's not paid yet. Real estate broker, we're last. We are the last ones. Yeah, we are last. If there's any money left over, they throw it at us. So, real property, special assessments. Real property and then special assessments. Right after real property, then special assessments, it is a pure race state. Whoever records first gets paid first. Now, I will tell you that right after special assessments, the bank is going to come right in as first because they trump what we're doing. They're already there.
Right.
But now let's say that you and I want to file a mechanic's lien on John's property. You and I want to file a mechanic's lien on John's property. You did some work for John, and he owes you $100,000. I'm assuming you want your money. Let's assume, and I know you don't like to assume. I don't like to assume. I know, because it makes something out of you and me. I know that. Well, let's assume for a second that you want your $100,000. I mowed John's lawn for a month. So John owes me $100. He owes you $100,000. He owes me $100. Okay. We both have the right to file a mechanic's lien on the house. However, I get there first. I get there $450. You get there $452. Who gets paid first? I'm $100. You're $100,000. Doesn't matter. I get paid first because I was there first. Doesn't matter the amount of money. No, sir. Does not matter the amount of money whatsoever. So we pay. This priority of liens is very important. Ad valorem tax is first. Special assessments is second. Mortgage comes in at the front of the pure race state, and then from there on, whoever records first gets paid first. North Carolina is a pure race state. This is not the last time you're going to see that. Foreshadowing. This is not the last time you're going to see that. North Carolina is a pure race state. Okay. Public land use restrictions as well. These give the right for somebody to foreclose on your house. They can positively foreclose on your house based on private land use restrictions. Are you telling me that somebody, some little neighborhood Nazi on your HOA can foreclose on your house because your fence is the wrong color? That's exactly what I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Your HOAs are the absolute devil. What? HOA is the devil. Can they foreclose on you? Yeah, they can. And we see it all the time. So when we moved in our neighborhood, gosh, what was that? 18 years ago. 18 years ago. Now our HOA, like most HOAs, have this rule that, for some reason they think that above ground pools are straight out of the depths of hell. So above ground pool is straight out of the depths of hell. That's spawn of Satan time. So somehow the Antichrist invented them. I don't know. But we really got a problem with the above ground pool. So I had a neighbor that put an above ground pool. Now I couldn't care less. I honestly could not care less if my neighbor has an above ground pool. Just invite me over now and then in the heat of the summer. Let's have a barbecue and call it a day. But no, he violated, gosh darn it, he violated the HOA bylaws, the CC&R, covenant conditions and restrictions. Well, I'm out walking the dogs, and he kind of stops and we were chatting. He's kind of venting about it. And so we strike up this conversation, and you really couldn't see the pool. I get it. You couldn't really see the pool, and he thought he was fine, and he thought, and he was like, okay, we should be able to do this. This is America, gosh darn it, we're free, blah, 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 blah. Dude, you signed the CC&R. When you moved in the neighborhood, you agreed to abide by it. I don't like them any more than you, but you know what? I'm stuck because I abide by them. Now, so the HOA dug their feet in. I said, let's put a lien on his house. And let's send him a fine. That'll get his attention. Well, he dug his feet in too. He was going to fight it in court, and then he was going to win. I said, okay, good for you. Well, he dug his feet in. Well, they were fining him. I think it was something stupid. I think it was like $120 a day by the end of this thing. It was crazy. And they put a lien on his house, and guess what they did? He said, no, I'm not paying your fine. I'm not taking my pool down. Guess what? Yeah, they foreclosed on him. They absolutely foreclosed on him. He lost his house, and what was the first thing when the HOA got the house and sold it? What was the first thing they did? Took down the above ground pool. Of course they did. Yeah, they foreclosed. We see people foreclose all the time on some of this stupid stuff. So private land use restrictions, I'm going to get real specific here in a second when it deals with us. That's the crazy neighbor with a pool. Everybody got a crazy neighbor?
Absolutely.
Here's the deal. If you don't know who the crazy neighbor is, it's you. I'm just saying. If you don't know who the crazy neighbor is, it's you. If you don't know who the crazy relative is at Christmas, it's you. It just is. It just is. The crazy neighbor could be you. It is you. Yes, it is. You're the crazy one. So you've got no HOA, but there are covenants. No, they're absolutely the same. So a covenant, condition, and restriction, CC&R, can be enforced with or without a homeowner association. Mm-hmm. The difference is who enforces it. That's the difference.
Right, love. So we are at the end of day 4. And on today, we really just focused. We did one entire unit. And that unit was what was it? Encumbrance on real property. So we just discussed a lot of, about liens and taxes and things like that. We went through all of that so everyone could get a total understanding of that. We also did some more math. We did property tax math to see how property taxes are calculated. So it was a great day. It was a really great day. No complaints whatsoever. And today was only from 9 to 1. It's 1 o'clock. Awesome day. Awesome day. I told you guys that I would give you the good, bad, and the ugly. The only ugly that I've had is when Microsoft Teams crashed on us last Sunday. But other than that, everything has been awesome. So I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And also hit that notification bell so you will be notified each time I upload a new video. I love you guys. Please stay safe. Stay home and spend as much time as you can with your families, and stay humble. Until next time, my loves. See you in the next video.
Wednesday night just hanging out, us two just got